ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
What Life premieres Tuesday, February 11th on ABC.
ABC 7 News at 6 is what's happening now.
Bryant killed in a helicopter crash. The basketball superstar among 9 dead when the chopper went down in Southern California and caught fire. New pictures just in, investigators rushing to the scene tonight, and what authorities have just revealed at a news conference late today. The news sending shockwaves across America and around the world. The all-time NBA great who played 20 seasons and won 5 titles with the Los Angeles Lakers. Fans going to the crash site and tears on the court as players learn the news. The other major headline tonight, 3 more confirmed cases of the coronavirus here in the United States as the death toll in this global outbreak continues to climb. The president's defense, new clues tonight about how President Trump's legal team plans to fight back. And trapped by a train, a woman pinned by a subway car, trapped for 20 minutes. Tonight, the heroes who jumped in and saved her life.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. We begin tonight with the tragic death of NBA legend Kobe Bryant, killed today in a helicopter crash in Southern California. The retired Los Angeles Lakers star and his 13-year-old daughter among 9 victims after the chopper went down and ignited near Calabasas, California. Video from the immediate aftermath showing a fire in the hills as first responders rushed to the scene. From the sky, a vast debris field. You see it here, the wreckage still smoldering. The news sending shockwaves around the world. Fans in Los Angeles tonight streaming to the Staples Center, where Bryant helped win 5 championships for the Lakers. We will have much more on that reaction and Bryant's legacy, but we begin with new details just in on the accident. ABC News Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman is at the crash site tonight.
South of 101 helicopter went down.
Tonight, tragedy in the hills of Calabasas, California. A helicopter carrying NBA legend Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others crashing around 10 o'clock this morning, bursting into flames, killing everyone on board. The smoke seen for miles. Fire crews racing to the scene.
The individuals that saw the aircraft said it was coming down at a fairly significant rate of speed and impacted the ground on the hillside behind me here.
Paramedics were hoisted down to the incident early into the incident. They did a search of the area for survivors. Unfortunately, all the survivors on board were determined to have been perished.
Eyewitnesses said they saw the chopper flying low and heard the engine sputtering before the crash.
I heard some noise of helicopter was struggling. I mean, you can tell because the engine was not really running fast.
I heard a helicopter just flying just way too low, and I heard like a loud thud noise.
Visibility may have played a role. This audio from the ground tower describing the weather conditions.
Current weather, Burbank. Wind calm, visibility 2.5 miles with haze, ceiling 1,100 overcast.
And all day, dozens gathering near the scene of the crash in shock.
I'm sick right now.
I'm sick. I'm sick.
We sat down next to this woman who couldn't stop crying.
I'm so sorry.
And we met this young man named Bryant after his parents' favorite basketball player.
All right, Matt Gutman joins us now live from near the site of that terrible crash where so many are gathering tonight. And Matt, it's still very active scene there behind you.
Absolutely. The FAA is already here. The NTSB is on its way. You still might be able to see the debris field and the smoke smoldering behind me on that hillside. Now, there are personnel from LA Fire, the police scattered across this hillside to ensure that nobody gets to the scene and tampers with this scene so that it can be better investigated, so they can figure out what happened to this helicopter. Tom.
Matt Gutman leading us off tonight on this terrible news. And as that investigation continues tonight, the tributes are pouring in for Bryant, who jumped from high school straight into the pros in 1996 and would win 5 championships as a Los Angeles Laker. Bryant also known for his contributions to the community off the court. ABC's Kana Whitworth with more on the legacy of Kobe Bryant.
Tonight, the world reeling over the loss of Kobe Bryant, widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
There goes Kobe Bryant. There goes
basketball greatness.
Kobe Bryant seen here shaking hands with NBA Commissioner David Stern. Bryant entered the NBA in 1996 directly from Lower Merion High School outside Philadelphia as a fresh-faced 18-year-old. At the time, the youngest ever to play in the league. Kobe spent his entire 20-year career with the Lakers. Early on, a dynamic duo with Shaquille O'Neal, bringing a dynasty back to Los Angeles, winning 3 titles in a row. After Shaq left the Lakers, Kobe taking over leadership of the team, winning 2 more championships. He was the MVP in both finals. An 18-time All-Star, famously facing off against greats like Michael Jordan. And playing on the international stage alongside his peers, winning 2 Olympic gold medals. Kobe's career ended with a flourish, scoring 60 points in his very last game. He was the oldest player in history to do so.
You can't write something better than this. And I'm more proud of the fact that, not about the championships, but about the down years. Because we didn't run, and we did it the right way. What can I say? Mamba out.
Among his many achievements, an 81-point game not matched in the modern era. A prolific scorer. He retired with the 3rd most points in league history, surpassed last night by his rival turned friend, LeBron James. Bryant's final tweet highlighting his sportsmanship, tweeting to LeBron to say, "Continue to move the game forward. King James, much respect, my brother." LeBron speaking about Kobe just yesterday.
I'm happy to be in any conversation with Kobe Bean Bryant, one of the all-time greatest basketball players to ever play, one of the all-time greatest Lakers. The man got 2 jerseys hanging up in Staples Center. It's just crazy.
But Bryant also made headlines off the court. In 2003, he was charged with sexual assault. That case settled out of court and the charges dropped. But his goals extended way beyond the hardwood. Bryant winning an Oscar in 2018 for his short film, Dear Basketball. Players across the country today learning of the tragic news as it broke mid-game. A memorial outside the Staples Center growing tonight. Recently, Bryant talked about how his daughter, Gianna, had reignited his passion for the game. The pair seen here at a recent Nets game in Brooklyn, talking about the game they both loved. And Tom, hundreds of people have gathered here at the Staples Center right behind me, many of them wearing Kobe Bryant jerseys, both number 24 and number 8. And spontaneous chants are breaking out. Kobe, we're hearing MVP as well. And this is where he spent his entire career. This is where he transcended the game of basketball. And his loss will not only be felt by the Lakers family and the people of Los Angeles, but truly all around the world as well. Tom.
That crowd also chanting, "Thank you, Kobe." All right, Kana Whitworth for us tonight. Kana, thank you. And as we have reported tonight, so much reaction coming in from the sports world and beyond. Shaquille O'Neal, who won those 3 NBA titles for the Lakers alongside Bryant, posting on social media, "There are no words to express the pain I'm going through. I'm sick right now." Disney chairman and CEO Robert Iger tweeting, "Disney mourns the tragic loss of one of the most respected and popular athletes of our time." Former President Barack Obama sending love and prayers, writing that Bryant was just beginning what would be just a meaningful second act after his historic career. President Trump tonight calling it terrible news. And we will have much more later in the broadcast, and there will be an ABC News special presentation, Kobe Bryant, Death of a Legend, tonight at 10 p.m. right here on ABC. And we do move on now to another major story developing tonight as health officials confirm at least 3 new cases of the deadly coronavirus in the U.S. Travelers on alert at American airports as the CDC reports 2 new patients in California and 1 in Arizona, bringing the total number of cases here to 5. The streets in some Chinese cities near the epicenter deserted. 50 million people there are under a travel lockdown. We're also hearing stories about Americans stranded in China, unable to leave as the authorities race to stop the outbreak from spreading. ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is in China tonight.
Tonight, the global effort to contain the potentially deadly coronavirus intensifying as the number of cases in the US rises to 5. The Centers for Disease Control confirming 2 new cases in California and another in Arizona.
The characteristics of this virus are still being determined, which is why we're taking this as a serious threat to public health.
All this as Chinese health officials say 56 have died from the virus and more than 2,000 infected. Wuhan, the epicenter of the outbreak, and 14 other cities now in lockdown. That's a total of 50 million people ordered to stay in place. In Wuhan, People wear face masks just to do the shopping, not knowing when they'll be able to leave the city again. And as the outbreak grows, a massive construction effort's underway to build 3 new hospitals there in just days. And tonight, the race to get Americans trapped in the virus-stricken region out. The US consulate in Wuhan announcing its plans to evacuate Americans on a charter plane. We spoke with one American family desperate to leave, the infection breaking out while they visited family to celebrate the Chinese New Year.
My biggest concern for my 3-month-old, his developing immune system. We're scared, and there's a little guilt involved from, putting him in this situation.
Chinese officials are warning the virus could be even more contagious than first thought. If verified, that might make it even harder to contain. Tom?
Ian Pannell reporting from that region tonight. Ian, thank you. Next tonight, the impeachment showdown, as President Trump's legal team is set to ramp up his defense tomorrow on the Senate floor. Let's get to ABC's David Wright, who's at the White House tonight.
One major line of defense from President Trump's lawyers is the claim that the 2 articles of impeachment approved by the House are constitutionally invalid.
The conduct has to be criminal in nature. It can't be abuse of power. It can't be obstruction of Congress.
Former Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz insists that should be game over.
If my argument succeeds, there's no need for witnesses. Indeed, there's no need for even arguments, any further arguments.
But Dershowitz argued the opposite during Bill Clinton's impeachment.
It certainly doesn't have to be a crime. If you have somebody who completely corrupts the office of president and who abuses trust and who poses great danger to our liberty, you don't need a technical crime.
Well, I did say that then, and then I've done all the extensive research.
Today, Fox News anchor Chris Wallace called him out on his about-face.
You're too good a lawyer not to have studied that back in 1998.
I've been immersing myself in dusty old books, and I've concluded that, no, it has to be a crime.
His team of lawyers can try to distort and try to deflect, but quite frankly, the best witness that we have in this case is the President of the United States.
Today, President Trump called out the House's lead impeachment manager, Congressman Adam Schiff, calling him, quote, a corrupt politician and probably a very sick man. He has not paid the price yet for what he has done to our country.
This is a wrathful and vindictive president. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
You take that as a threat?
I think it's intended to be.
David Wright joins us now live from the White House. And David, tomorrow the president's lawyers continue their defense, but the Democrats still don't appear to have the votes to force the issue on witnesses.
That's right, Tom. They need 4 Republicans to break ranks. So far, only Mitt Romney of Utah has made it clear he's leaning in the direction of calling for more witnesses. 3 others are being a bit more coy, but haven't ruled it out. Tom?
We'll have to wait and see. All right, David, thank you. And we will have complete network coverage of tomorrow's Senate impeachment trial starting at 1 p.m. Now to the incredible rescue, a woman pinned on the track bed by a metro train near Washington, D.C. The firefighters promise, we're going to get you out. Here's ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi.
Tonight, a miraculous rescue near the nation's capital that defied all odds. First responders desperately working to save a woman who fell from a metro platform during the evening commute Thursday.
People were coming up the other way, crying.
Officials say the woman had a medical emergency, causing her to fall just as the train was approaching the station. Fire department medic Ryan Dennels-Beck was on the scene within minutes.
I can see she's pretty covered in blood. She's very dirty because it's very dusty down there.
Rescue workers on their stomachs, consoling the woman below. Dennels-Beck at one point extending his arm out to hold the woman's hand.
Keeping her calm, keeping her away from the train, making sure she didn't touch anything because the train was still energized at that point.
Once power was shut off to the third rail, rescuers went below using a metal gurney to pull her out.
The main thing that saved this patient was the safe haven zone underneath the rail platform.
And officials say the woman was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Tom?
Mona, thank you. And there's much more ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday. The massive flooding, dozens killed and thousands forced from their homes, where this is happening. And we'll have more on the death of a legend, Kobe Bryant, in his own words. Stay with us.
I've always loved seeing what's next. I'm still going for my best, even though I live with a higher risk of stroke due to